now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Looking to throw. Carson. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
I know he ain't got it. Mike, 53. 53, Mike.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Carson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Giants have taken the lead. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Throwing on first down. Carson trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Extra point forthcoming. It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Ready? 10 logo. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Ricky. Shoot.
Off the play fake. McMillan. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a third interception in half number 1. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Operating from the gun, Carson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
35 yards that time on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
First down, Eagles.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
It's our time. It's our time. My 50, my 50.
From the gun, McMillan. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Back to throw. McMillan. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
56 to Mike. Hey, echo. Check 56.
Throwing on third and long. McMillan. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages. You know, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On the draw, this is Barkley. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On third down, Carson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at his own 10. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
But number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Ooh, the juke. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
No.
On second down, here's Barkley. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. Carson under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is fielded at the 27. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on the play. Second and 10. At the Giants' 40-yard line.
Don't let him breathe. Don't let him.
On second down, it's Sanders. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
Ready? 15 line. 15 line.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And his kick is good. And their lead will swell up to 28. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Let's go, baby. First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, so the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 41. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
And an Eagle first down.
Here we go. 90 Wolf. Let's cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies shoot.
And he'll give it here to his running back. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll get this down to the 10.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
X3, 5.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11th. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Ready. 10 Lobo.
They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A good job there defensively to stop him for a gain of just 4, and that'll bring up 4th and goal. You know what? I know it's 4th down and they've got a big lead, but go for it.
Yeah, and why not, right? Because they have the big lead. But don't you have to have a little bit of admiration for these guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've been shoved around this entire game, and they're making a nice goal line stand here. It would be fun to see them stop them on 4th down, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's like putting whipped cream on broccoli at this point.
So what you're saying is they're going to go for it on 4th down. They're going to get it, aren't they?
I would. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 35-yard line.
On 2nd down now, Barkley. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll give this to Singletary running right. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
It's a loss of a yard, bringing up 3rd and 12.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. They'll go to Barkley again. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming.
Josh Lambo on for the field goal. A 49-yard attempt.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
On the ready. Topper! Topper! Get ready. Get it.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. And facing a very tough 3rd and 19 here after both of those running plays went backwards. Here's Sanders. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now Saquon Barkley. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part, because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... You know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Another run here with Sanders. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And they will take a knee here.
Set, ready? 18 Gator. You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls, plural. But
I like where we're going with this, though. You say one to represent, like the best player of all of that. And I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for Philadelphia, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.